We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy. He gets his Jew news from Sauce Gardner. It's Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
I do. Jew news. That should be a show. That's what this is. Jew news.
I think that's a really good idea. If I knew how to change the podcast name or the cover, I might do that.
I still like that cover.
I really want to change it, and I've gotten shit for it. I just can't figure it out.
It's a challenge. It's a thinker.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. We want you to listen to our show. We want you to spread the word. Tell a friend to tell their friends to tell their teacher's daughter, because we like when you love us, but we love when you hate us.
Mention it to somebody during coitus. Just throw it in there. I don't know. Getting feeling weird tonight, and I got some stories from yesterday. I'm out of my mind.
I love it.
Yeah.
Zach, before we get into today's episode, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
It's going to be boring for a while. I'm going to need a day to just pound these out. So it's like a more Qingdao. Yeah, I know, man. Like, they all taste the same, too. They're all like somewhere between a Bud Light and a Heineken with, a dragon on them. You?
E2, because it's a rainy day, from the Navasink. No, I lied to you. From the Ross Brewing Company. It is Ross Brewing Company. It is Navasink IPA, which is a DIPA, hoppy, pine, citrus. I didn't know what the Navasink was. Do you know that it's a river by my house? Okay, cool. There's
river water in there. Oof.
7.8% alcohol by volume. Ooh. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Release a cracker.
Muchacho. Yeah.
Boom. Love it. Yes. Cheers.
Ooh, get off there.
I really did want to come up with something clever. I was going to combine Jew and news together, and I was like, it's the Jews. Wait, it's literally the same word.
Yeah, that's what Jews news.
No, but I tried to take away the N and just put the J. It's still the same thing. I didn't quite realize that. And usually we do our shot bets before anything, but you've gone ahead and spoiled it for me before we signed on here.
I knew you had nothing.
I did. I got points. I had UConn, and they got 2 wins. So I have 2 wins from the Elite 8 and Final 4, and you told me that you have
6.
And I forgot to put my liquor in the fridge or freezer. This is all of 5 minutes in the freezer right here.
What do we got there?
It's just Sky vodka. Even that you can have.
Oh,
it's
rubbing
so alcohol.
Douchey. Just an asshole with your Sky vodka.
So am I.
A Ciroc?
Bottoms up.
Yeah. All those rappers can't be wrong. Hey, Marley.
No. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't like vodka. Warm vodka's bad.
Oof.
I don't know if there's hair on your ass.
I've had expensive vodka. I've had rubbing alcohol. Can't tell the difference.
Tastes like vodka.
Tastes like red wine.
It absolutely. That was the most prophetic thing you've ever said in your life. It was perfect. Tastes like red wine. Because I'm a white wine guy, and I can tell the difference between some of them, not all of them, but most. I like cold wines. Red wine tastes like red wine. It's thinner.
It really does.
It's all about viscosity.
I've been told when it comes to vodka, the way you really tell the difference is how hungover you are the next day, which I was like, I don't know if that's a great way
that's
of.
Awful.
No.
Yeah. That just means you just got smashed. It doesn't mean it's good. It just means you drank too much of it. It's quantity.
Episode 223. Zachy, give me your best.
Eins, Zwei, Drei.
Very good. You know what that means?
1, 2, 3.
It is 1, 2, 3. I have a good story that ties in with something in the news. Kick it off, man. I feel like this is my show, but you've been dangling carrots in front of me for almost 24 hours now.
Okay. Well, I mean, this could be quirky, but let's get just into story time. So yesterday, I couldn't come to this fine program because a girl in my office was performing at Gotham Comedy Club, which was incredible that she actually talked her way in there with almost no stage experience. Now, the other amateurs had.
You said that she was in the class.
There's no class. It's not like a thing. It was amateur night. So everyone got to do their tight 10, but they had been getting up and doing a thing. She'd been up that was the max. They were waving the flashlight at a lot of these people. She had a 6. It was good, actually. Out of all the amateurs, she was by far the best. It was a lot of dildo stuff, and she's got her proclivities. But nevertheless, who doesn't have dildo jokes? That seemed to be a lot of what these guys talked about.
Guys, or you mean girls?
Both. Yeah.
I hate to rag on professionals that are doing way better in this role than you and I are do. I can't get through a Whitney Cummings or a Nikki Glaser special. It's all they talk about is sex.
Whitney Cummings, I think, is pretty sexy. I got a thing for her. I know she's tall and cute.
What I would do to them is very different than can I listen to them for an hour? Are you drinking that in the side like a douche? What is wrong with you? I didn't mean to.
I sort of missed. Like, yeah, it was not good. Popeye. Yeah. Anyway, so after her set, she was actually the best of the amateurs, which was great and good for her. After her set, Jim Gaffigan did a nice drop by. That was fun. Him too. So I heard him do some of his shtick before, but it was nice to be like, a few feet from him and hear him do it. He was good.
What I texted you is the truth is you paid however much to go see a friend. Your ticket, which was not worth $14. Your ticket is immediately worth it. The fact that you saw Jim Gaffigan for $15 in a room of 100 people.
Yeah, not even amateur night, 100 people, please.
Yeah, be nice.
Yeah. So then we go next door to the bar. Now we've had we're 4 or 5 deep, and we've had a couple going. There's not many people at the bar. There's like 4 people at the bar, and then there's a pack of people in the back area. We're at Jake's Saloon.
I was about to say they have their own brew there. I was trying to remember the name of it. It's like a Jake's whatever. They do like a 2 for $5. I know
the owner. Jake is the son. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I go to take a piss, as I'm one to do many, many times over. And a guy walks, as every good joke starts, a guy walks into the men's room with a fake parrot on his shoulder. A guy walks in with a fake parrot on his shoulder. He's right next to me. We got to get to talking. It's urinal talk. What's with the parrot? Okay. And then I initiated. I'm here for a meetup. Okay, fine, whatever. I finished my pee.
Parrotsonshoulder.com?
I finished my pee, I go out. And I see the meetup is an eclectic group. One guy's in a leather vest and a cowboy hat. And then another guy's in a quadruple Windsor knot. It's a very weird group. Fine. I go back to my group of friends, talking. The Windsor knot guy comes by, and he looks like the little guy from Billions. Like, full on, but like a fatter version of it. Like, doesn't matter. We're talking. He's super, like, Aspergery and, like, reserved, but curt, but wants to talk, but doesn't. Weirdo. So then he goes, I'm at the meetup. I go, okay, man, like, what is a meetup? Where does one find a meetup? He goes, well, we want to like-minded interests, and we meet up. He goes, would you like to meet them? I go, I don't know, man. He goes, I'll go back in a minute. He goes, I don't think you will. I go, what? He goes, I don't think you will. But he was not, like, being cheeky. I think he was being a dick. Like, you're not going to do it. You think you're better than, like, that kind of thing. I'm better than you. I go, all right, man.
I am better than you, but I'll also meet your stupid friends.
I'm calling your bluff. Now I'm in. The first person I walk up to has gray teeth. Like, she's spitting gravy. Yeah, it's gross. Gotta be 65. She's chatting me up. She goes, did you tell him what this is? I'm like, what? He's like, did you tell him what this is? I'm like, he goes, I said, no, it's a meetup, right? He goes, did you tell him what? It's a meetup for people with kink. Now, my party is now 70 yards away or whatever at the bar. I am now all in alone in the kinky room.
Were there girls there?
Yeah, 50-50. They were terrible.
Good odds.
They were terrible. No, because that was the whole thing. Each of them had a different kink, and I couldn't find out what it was because you can't talk about your kink because it's fucking Fight Club.
Do you think maybe this is like one of those networking groups where you have to bring in somebody who has a different kink? Like, you don't want to have 2 real estate agents in the same BNI group, right?
Well done. You don't.
I know the groups. I just don't go. They're too early in the morning for me.
Exactly. Well, this was the evening one. This is the late BNI.
Or just Le Tip.
Exactly. BNI, like booties and needles.
Needles. Okay, I wasn't sure you were going
I don't know,
with that.
man. Like, I got nothing. They're like pain and pleasure. But they wouldn't tell me their kink because the whole thing was you go there as a kinky group, but you don't talk kink because you're supposed to just be regular people. But they were so reserved. Everyone had 30 pronouns. It was a hellacious group. And I'm sitting there alone for 20 minutes, which we all know is forever.
20 minutes? Zach, that's 7 hours.
7 hours. My group didn't come rescue me. They were just chatting.
You didn't go with anybody that knew your friend. We'll call her Samantha. You didn't know any of her friends or anybody else?
I went with 2 people from my office. So there's 3 of us at the bar. I was the curious one who got extricated from the herd. So
why didn't you just say, I got to get back to my friends?
No, it's not. That's not what guys do. I got to get back to my friends. That's a chick thing. Guys just sit there and be miserable until the thing organically winds down, which it did.
Your friends were 70 yards away,
and your bar is 30 yards. They're flirting it up and drinking with these two. I think a real will they won't they thing going on. Not the point. The point is I'm in the back there with a won't they because I will not. I'm gonna get the crap.
Oh, okay. I assume you were two guys. You didn't want to crash a date, essentially, is what you're saying.
It wasn't a date. It was just two real estate. It was a manager and a real estate agent. It doesn't matter. I couldn't get out of there because I had Brunhilde in my way with a spiked paddle and an executioner's mask.
Really what she had?
No. They didn't have that. They didn't tell you their king because the leather jacket guy was pretty much wearing his. And the parrot guy, these guys were out of their fucking minds. They were so.
I just assume my first question is, so Jimmy Buffett, huh? You like it?
Yeah, exactly.
What else are parrots associated with?
I don't know. Maybe it's Yago. Maybe the parrot's kink is the guy. You don't know. It's a stuffed parrot. He's a weirdo. And I am the only non-kinky person there. And I'm shockingly unkinky. I'm a weird guy, but I'm not kinky. I don't like the weird stuff. That's just like,
I'll get you there. Don't worry.
Go through the morning routine. But that was my evening. And like mercifully then 10:30 came around, which is ancient. It's so late for me. I'm like Methuselah.
What's
10:30 to be out, I'm dead.
I don't know what 10:30 is.
Yeah, it's death. So
I've been awake at 10:30. I don't remember the last time that I was not in my house at 10:30.
It's been forever. So yeah, I'm like cooked at this point. Then I take a wild Uber home. Some guy's screaming about how Bad Bunny changed music. Oh, fucking asshole in the back. Like, I can only do Uber share because we're watching Heights. I'm saving the money. So I have to deal with this idiot. I'm up front with him and his wrecked girlfriend. She didn't say a word. But that was my night. But yes, the kink party, because I can't just run away. I don't want to be rude to people.
You're not inquisitive enough. The rule of thumb,
very inquisitive. They wouldn't tell me anything.
You have to be interesting or be interested. That is the key to conversation.
Keep themselves super guarded by design. So anything I asked, they would shoot down. It was difficult. It was a bad interview. I won't tell you. I said, why? Because I don't trust you yet. I said, do I look untrustworthy? Which is yes. She says, no, she was being nice. I just don't know you. I go, so what would it take to get to know me in the next 11 minutes? Like, I was actually incredibly inquisitive and charming. I thought so, at least.
No, I get this. This is
nothing, these people.
See, I think the point of this meetup group is you're trying to get out of the way some of the BS of, okay, guy meets girl, girl meets guy. You get back and you start getting down to business, and then the person's like, oh, by the way, I like to say things and then have my fake parrot, repeat them. You're trying to get rid of the BS of
Possibly, but this thing ran the gamut of looks, ages, seemingly socioeconomic circles. Anything went. I mean, maybe they don't care. Maybe that's the kink. A poor 65-year-old and a rich 30-year-old.
The rich 65-year-old and a poor 30-year-old. That's not a kink. That's called Manhattan.
No, the older people look poor as could be. The older they were, the more poor they looked. It was quite the spectacle.
So the point of the story is we don't talk about anything, or you're not at least supposed to say the stuff that's the most important to the conversation, right?
They kept the important part quiet. They did not say anything out loud. But for me to even be in an area, a confined area in here, that I'm now currently in a kink party, that's different for me.
Well, I'm excited because I will be playing Truth, Lie in a couple of weeks. That is a very good truth.
I've been to a kink party briefly,
So that is
It's a great one. So I also have that cousin who's the preeminent author. How do you do on kink? So he says no one there knew who he was. He's a nobody. Like, I'm not gonna say his name. The John Smith, and his handle is this. But this is the room. If he's gonna make any kind of name for himself, this is the crowd. He should have been there, like emceeing this thing.
All right, let me segue to something I wanted to bring up because, again, you basically are there and people are not talking about the most important thing. I hate that I am bringing this up, but when things keep on popping up over and over and over again, including even Julia's podcasters, the people she watches, everybody's talking about fucking tipping these days. Have you run across any of this where everybody's up in arms right now about tipping here, tipping there? Remember I talked to you one time where I went to pick up a smoothie and they had like add a tip if you like Ford or you like GM. It's like everything is about tipping these days. And basically it's been rationalized down to Well, you have to assume that the person is doing the work they're not getting paid to do, which I kind of go, wait a minute, waiters are getting paid to bring the food to me. The barista is getting paid to make the coffee. And then we get to the more important part. You have to tip waiters because they're not being paid appropriately. At which point I came up with a theory where you're not allowed to ask, but I think tipping and tipping culture should be, you should just ask the person, how much are you making right now for your job? And then you supplement it from there, because waiters get tips because they're making $2 an hour.
Yeah,
but
how did that become a societal thing that you're allowed to underpay these people, knowing you're going to foist the bill onto the next person? When did it start? Genius. Whoever started the whole concept of underpaying, assuming the customer was going to do it, my kind of guy.
Essentially,
when you with that guy, he's
when
the
you
kink.
get for tipping culture, everybody that you hear kind of has a little bit of differences, but the main concept is, how much is this person getting to do? Is that their job? But the only time that it really is universal is, no, you have to tip waiters in America because they're getting paid less. And Zach, I think we should cut through the kink and just go up to people and say,
The kink.
how much are you getting paid for your job right now? When you and I go to Shitty Field in next month or whatever.
Here's the question though. You gonna pass your own purity test? When the guy looks at you, if he looks at the tip, hey, how much are you getting paid?
To be at the game, I'm paying money.
Yeah, how much are you getting paid in your job? You can't let a little more go?
I went to school for a lot longer than that person opening me a $27 Coors Light.
Right. Still.
You and I, of course, we're never going to do this. Although,
no, I'm not going to
if
talk
you
to
and
the
I
guy at all. I don't want to engage him at all.
If you and I are together and we've already had one or two, I will definitely be like, I was interested in your job. I know this is terrible. What do you guys start at? Give me a ballpark.
Last time I penny for someone's thoughts was last night at the urinal. My night devolved from there. I'm done. I'm just taking people with their face value at this point. Hey, pat on the shoulder, cool. And that's it. Don't give a shit. Cool.
I'm not going to get into any more tipping culture. It's just one of those things where I keep hearing, it's like the topic to talk about right now. Dave Ramsey and all the famous people, even on sports podcasts, they're talking about this shit. I'm like, oh my God, I don't care. I literally don't care. You know what? If I give you a bad tip, I just won't come back for a little bit. Like, who cares?
I don't remember you.
But I think it's time we get to the meat and potatoes of tonight's show, episode 223, calling this one Eins, Zwei, Drei. Because in the news, this could have made a Pishadoo section, but I like this story too much. The German national team has their new soccer jerseys that have come out, and they do like a cool little font in the back. Great. Well, the 4 is very eccentric, and when you put a 44 together, it immediately became...
SS? Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. So, it's old school.
Well, they've already changed the font. You're not allowed to order a number 44 online. They've apologized for everything. And you know what, Zach?
It's going to be out there. You see Trump wearing it next week.
Go on to your Google and type in German soccer jersey, and before it'll suggest to you number 44 before you can finish it. And I actually want to take the counter to it. If it was any other country, do we even think about it? You don't even get there, right? Even if it
doesn't mean anything in any other country, though.
It looks just like a swastika.
Yeah, but it means nothing. German soccer jersey?
German soccer jersey.
German S, and it comes up.
Yeah.
Not even soccer, German S. And
I want to take the counter, man. Like, I really think the Germans are getting a bad rap.
Oh, that isn't good. That isn't good.
So they were changing it, but
it's just not good.
It just is a little bit. I think it's unfair because if this was Sweden and it looked exactly like a swastika, we wouldn't think twice about it. But the Germans are always getting in trouble for stuff like this.
Yeah, it's guilty by association.
All right, let's segue to one of the worst things I've ever done in my life, and I killed a guy.
You did.
This is, God, it's got to be close to 10 years at this point, where I think it was something close to like 8 or 9 o'clock New Year's night, and I had nothing going on. And then one of my friends threw together something real quick as like, hey, just grab some beers. There's some people around. We don't want to make anything big about it. Just come over. I'm like, okay, great. So we go over, and there's another guy there who, his name is Brendan. I want to call him my friend. We talk never, but if I ever ran into him, it would be like it never stopped, and you'd love him. Like the guy is amazing, but like it's hard to say my friend when we talk never. But he's the type of person where he is an amateur comic where he's gotten up on stage more than 5 times and he does the same routine. So I stopped going to see him. So we go into the back. Nobody's playing beer pong. We have a million cups to use. Don't ask me why, but him and I, we joke around because he has some German Irish. I'm Jewish. I said, it'd be funny. Let's just set up 26, 30 cups. I will be the Jewish star. You be the swastika. And for me, it felt like taking down again, I thought it was funny because I was like, you know what? I'm taking down the Germans.
Win?
I thought it was unfair because his cups, when you make a Jewish star, you're making a lot of little triangles all over that table. A lot. Well, there's a couple holes, but there's enough that things are touching.
Of, like, gap hole. Yeah, it's tough. The swastika is so contiguous.
Wait, you're not hearing me. The Jewish star is I will draw it with cups. The holes is not the issue. There are so many little angles you can make. The swastika, and if you hit one, you have island cups everywhere. And yeah. So we start playing and we're just doing our thing. And half the time I'm going like, this is really bad. But as long as I am the Jew and I'm going after the Germans, and then 2 like girls that we'd never even met come back like, hey, are you guys playing beer mug? Oh no. Oh, and we're going back inside the other room. They were so offended by it. I don't know how people feel about this because I'm making a joke out of it. But as Zach Elias likes to say, funny is funny.
Funny is funny. And you know what? It's the messenger. He wasn't like an actual German. He didn't feel like then it's the messenger is charming. It's fine. The fact that those 2 broads couldn't handle it, not my problem.
Jack, you got anything to be else jerky about? Want to eat some quirky?
Sure. Always. So
fake pirates.
Fake pirates is right. By the way, not that it's quirky, but I saw this on the news, like 60 Minutes. Have you ever seen Indian racing with horses?
Dot or feather?
Feather. It's the most insane sport I have ever seen in my life.
All right, I can say it right now because remember I told you I've been binging something and I didn't want it to get ruined. Sure. I'm on the last episode of Yellowstone. Okay. And in season 1, they cover where the Native Americans, they do relay races on horses. It's something that actually take very seriously.
They don't call it that. They want Indian racing. They lean into the name.
I'm not going to say it. I have more tact than you. I'm a doctor. It's their word.
And you killed the guy.
Allegedly.
Fine.
I also have somebody on the roof right now.
What?
This is like an old joke. We didn't make it up, but it's like a famous joke that we like to use in our family where, a guy goes on vacation. He says, hey, can you dog sit or can you cat sit for me to his brother? The brother goes, yeah, sure. Why not? So anyway, guy comes back from vacation. He goes, hey, how's my cat doing? He goes, oh, your cat like went up on the roof, fell off, got hit by a car, is in 8,000 pieces. Like it's really bad. He goes, oh my God, are you kidding? First off, if you're ever going to tell me a story that terribly, you don't have to make it so quick and like direct. You can do like a little story, like Fluffy went onto the roof and she was playing around and things got a little windy. And he goes, oh, okay. A year later, he calls the guy. He goes, hey, just want to know how Dad's doing. And he goes, so Dad went onto the roof last night.
That's funny.
So we use that in our family of like a so-and-so's on the roof, meaning like it's going to happen any day now. I have a guy that I was supposed to see today and I got a call. I was supposed to see them at 3, got a call at 3:20. Don't come see them. I'm like, I'm on my way. They're like, yeah, he's in the hospital. It's not going well. I'm like, well, I didn't do it.
Do you still get paid for that?
No.
That sucks. Anyway. Native American racing is 3 laps around on a horse, but 3 different horses. And at each lap, you have to go to the pit and in one motion, jump onto the next horse. It's breathtaking.
You don't watch enough. I've seen this before. What the engines do. Have you ever seen them shoot like a bow and arrow hanging off the side? Yeah, they're incredible. They're incredible.
Okay. Yeah. Guess who died?
I know somebody stupid.
Vicente Perez Mora. World's oldest man, dead at 114.
Do me. I know this. Yeah, he was on the USS Arizona.
Maybe. But the secret to longevity with this guy was a shot of booze every day. I love this guy.
Died of cirrhosis of the liver, probably.
Ripe old
Zach,
age.
do you know how hard it is when I have patients that are doing so terribly? They're 89 years old. They smoke a pack of cigarettes and drink like a fish. And I look at them, I go, Mr. Smith, it'd be good if you cut back on the booze and the cigarettes. And they always tell me, I made it this long.
Go fuck yourself. Just stay out of it. Mind your business. So taxi dispatchers are being charged with taking bribes at JFK from cabbies to cut the line to the tune
Shocker.
of $12,000 in bribes.
For the year? Or
Yeah, a year.
that's not that. Wait, so Taxi's cutting the line where they sip him a
And they
20.
gotta strip the guy. Is the guy at the thing?
You know what I think this
$12,000?
is? But I think it's not that they're making that money back as much as their shift gets shorter. Sitting in the back of a line is
It's
brutal.
death. It's death.
Yeah.
To get you back into the city fast. But the guy at the booth is getting $12,000.
I'm coming out of the booth.
Exactly. That's a fair amount of money to do nothing.
Pretty good.
Sage Steele, your girl. That was bad, that interview. Did you see what
good.
else happened? Is she on your list again?
She was in my
apparently-
dreams.
Well, that's you do you. She apparently got the opportunity to interview Joe Biden. Guess what? Apparently, all the questions that she had were scripted, and he knew them ahead of time. The whole thing was a sham interview.
Always though. They always say that. Yeah.
I don't know. And it was written by the network. So, like, she got nothing. She just showed up to be, Sage Steele.
I think you're the dummy here.
Why?
They know it's like the Tonight Show, dude. They know the questions ahead of time.
Yeah, but she didn't even write them. She got nothing. Her boss wrote these things for her. Her lady, read this. That's terrible.
Because you're not getting this interview unless you do that.
I
got news for you. You and I talk a big game. If somebody said to you, sit there, cluck like a chicken, and read these questions for somebody godly famous, you and we immediately become
anything.
Popeye.
I would literally say anything. I'm Ron Burgundy. I will read whatever the teleprompter says.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Exactly. Or I'm like, hey, Bruce Almighty, my little nipples went to France. Like, whatever's on there. Did you see what happened in the women's game in Portland, the NCAA game? The 3-point dimensions were different for each side. It was terrible.
That was a mistake, though. That was just a mistake.
It's just a mistake. It's not that hard. You just lay the thing down. How many games do they have there? Yet they played on. They could have changed it. They said, well, it's the same for each of us and each way we go, so fuck it. It's insane. This is a big game for these girls, ladies, whatever. So this one got me. I don't know why, but fans are convinced Johnny Manziel is dating Jose Canseco's daughter. That's a fantastic union. They're just meant for each other.
Okay. There was a long, drawn-out pause there, maybe. Daughter, I thought you were going to say he's dating Jose Canseco, at which point I was like, I'll believe anything. If Johnny Manziel is dating Jose Canseco, it would be...
Oh, that would lead the news. That would lead national news. Warren Gaza be damned. Johnny Manziel dating Jose Canseco, we've got a story. But Canseco's daughter, that's pretty good. So
they have tons of that where the person's dating... Isn't right now... It's like Michael Jordan's son is dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. Like, there's all types of weird stuff.
Those are bad ones, too.
But you also know that now that there's so many more famous people, there's going to be all types of sons, daughters, this, that. It's always Nepo baby.
Speaking of famous people, quote, famous philanderer Tiger Woods has made a radical change to his sex life while training for the Masters.
Okay.
Tiger Woods has eliminated sex while training for the Masters. He is going for abstinence, says his new girlfriend. Yeah, unless you go to a Perkins waitress. He's having sex with her. But by the way, when he was crushing it and winning tournaments, he was having all the sex with all the waitresses. So do that.
Yeah. The worst one
works.
Who was the girl whose 15 minutes is over now? Finally,
the Perkins lady.
No, the one who started off as a 9/11 victim. Her husband died 9/11, and then became. She was not. She had like a nice little run. I think she did like a Dr. Drew Celebrity Rehab. I mean, she had some popularity.
I think Tiger's making a huge mistake. If I were his advisor, I would say no. Go back to having all the sex with all the waitresses and telling nobody, and hope you don't get caught. That's how you win golf tournaments.
Are you still one of those you think he has any type of chance?
If he did that, he might.
Zach. He's not making the cut. I got bad news for you.
If he bangs a nasty Perkins waitress before the thing, he's winning the whole thing. Guaranteed. It's a secret.
Say, I know he has some ties to Perkins, but I tell you, man, the moon over my hammy, nothing better than that at Denny's.
I've never been to a Perkins. And neither of you.
Yes, I have. And I've been to a Perkins. I've been to a Shoney's. I've been to Bob's Big Boy. It was one of those where like they rebranded for a minute. I've been to Bob's Big Boy. I've been to definitely I used to go to IHOP all the time, and I've been to Denny's a million times, dude. We used to do in high school like late night Denny's. Their appetizer sampler can't be beat.
Poor I have never been to a Shoney's. I've never heard of a Shoney's, and I don't even know where I would find a Bob's Big Boy. I just know it from the thing.
There was one close to my house where I grew up, but my father, I know this is hard to believe, he was a bacon and eggs and toast with OJ type of guy growing up, and like could not start his day until he had it. It was so when we went on vacation, it was where am I getting bacon? Bacon. What? Do you not believe that? Was that physique of his?
Slickers, the man ate bacon at every meal. You can't do that.
He ate bacon and eggs just about every day, and he doesn't do it anymore because he's gotten older, and the doctors are like, dude, your heart is not going to take this much longer.
I'm going to take it. Man. Anyway, and for me, Disney something in Denmark, or it's Efteling theme park, so it's a Disney knockoff. Sleeping Beauty gets shocking boob job at theme park. She's going to start an OnlyFans page, quote, Sleeping Beauty has a set on her, and this is all the rage there. People are coming just to see this fake Sleeping Beauty with huge gazongas, and they weren't there always. They went one day, they just enhanced them.
Wow.
It used to be like
aren't there multiple Sleeping Beauties? What do the other ones do?
They stuff their bra. I don't know, man. Like they figure it out. They
got to keep up with the Joneses.
They have to keep up with her. So yeah, and out of nowhere, she just grew these things one day. OnlyFans page coming, so they say. At the what the hell? It's in Denmark at the Efteling theme park in Pishadoo, no, Netherlands. Sorry, Pishadoo. So hit it up when you're in there.
I will. I've been to Denmark. I don't know if I went there, but I'll try to.
No, she's got some bombs under them.
Zach, I gave you. Go ahead. You got more?
No, that's all I got. That's what
I gave you a week off last week. Do you got anything? Whatcha Whatchin?
Because all I watch is fucking college basketball. I was gonna watch the Attell thing, but I ended up going out last night to the swingers party, so I didn't watch your Attell thing. I will. I have nothing to watch. I watch cooking shows with Gordon Ramsay, and it's just not good.
Okay. Remember when I died in January this year?
Yeah.
I binged something that I like for weeks and weeks. I was like, I'll tell Zach. And then honestly, I just forgot. But I watched Curb this past weekend.
Oh, Curb has been great. When Leon said he got 3-2, we tooed, I was dying. We tooed, dying.
They went a little hard in the paint with Leon this week, but he's still the best part of the show.
In the mud, I was done.
Hey, Zach, that British fellow, who is that guy? What does he do? Have you ever heard of him? Do you know who he is or about anything? The chubby guy with the beard at the end? In Curb from this past week, the one who Larry had to read his book or screenplay, and at the end he gave Larry gave him COVID.
I've seen him in stuff.
Who is he? Have you seen him in anything?
I have. I don't know from what though.
I forgot of what I wanted to tell you. So that guy, by the way, has been made famous. He is on a show on Hulu. It's called What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes, okay? I haven't seen it. I heard it's good.
It is a hard sell for me. I'd say the first episode or two, I'm going like, I don't know if I get it. This is really stupid. And by the third one, you're like, oh, it's intentionally stupid. It is mockumentary style. It is basically if The Office met vampires, but it's meant to be ridiculous. It's 5 seasons. I think they're doing one more. Each episode is a half hour. And while it's incredibly stupid, and most of it you're sitting there going like, I don't care. I laughed out loud 2 to 3 times per episode.
I've heard it's very good. I was also told today in our office meeting, we always open with what are you watching like this, to watch Avatar Airbender.
Nope.
That doesn't seem like me.
Okay. You know me, I know you. It's a half hour. You watch like 2 or 3 episodes, you go to sleep. It's the perfect.
That sounds pretty good. Because I got nothing else to watch. I'm not going to watch Yellowstone too long. I'm not going to watch. I don't know what else I've been told to watch. Tulsa King. I'm not getting to that.
Okay,
you will watch. You will third base. I'll watch that eventually.
Okay, you will watch Yellowstone per my recommendation because it was the second time we started in 2017, and the first 3 episodes are unwatchable. Just so bad.
With Yellowstone. You recommended it. You usually have very good choices. But on my list, in parentheses, it says Yellowstone, parentheses, Dad. So we'll see. His choices are not always...
Yeah, no, again, the first 2 to 3 episodes where they starts off, it's Cowboys and Indians, but by the end of the first season, you're like, dude, I literally watch it before work and before I go to bed. Like,
it's
so
like 12
good.
seasons, right?
No, it's 5, and they're only, I think, like 8 or 9 episodes each.
Okay.
It's also on Peacock. So
I have that. West Ham's not doing anything for me on Peacock. They stink.
Pishadoo of the week. I have some candidates I mangled together.
It truly
I'm
doesn't
just gonna.
matter. I win, but go.
Can I throw this one away? You saw SNL this past week.
I think. I have
Okay,
most of it. As much
I
as I
watched
could
it
take.
because Rami Youssef was on it and Julia just worked with him. We watched a good amount, and they
He
did
wasn't
so
good.
much Trump Bible stuff. I had that locked and loaded. That was my gold medal. Trump selling his own Bible. Which
Yeah.
don't forget, the Bible is the #1 all-time selling nonfiction fiction book.
Novel. Not the first 5 books. That junk afterwards. That's all fiction.
All right, getting into my nominees. You know who Byron Buxton is, the outfielder?
Yes.
What is he most famous for as an outfielder?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, actually, you know what he's really famous for? Always being injured. He's always hurt.
Fine.
This guy is fantastic. Did you see last night what almost happened to him? It was so close. It's hard to put on the list here. He was playing in Milwaukee. He goes to step out of the dugout as they're doing the sausage race, and he got almost ran over by the bratwurst by millimeters. He stepped out and had to do like a jump back into the dugout. He almost got annihilated. Put him in bubble wrap.
I met the Italian sausage.
Yeah. Wait, you and I showered together?
We did.
Hey-o. Keeping it with baseball. Who is Estuary Ruiz?
Estuary, is he an infielder?
He is an outfielder for the Oakland Athletics, who you wanted on your fantasy team last year, maybe this year, because he is horrible. Except that guy last year in some, 110 games.
Closer. He's good.
He stole 50-some bases.
Right.
This guy is one of those.
No, he was like a 70 steal guy.
Oh, it was a lot. Well, anyway, this year, he is off to a scorching start. He's batting .400. He's stealing bases. He was sent to the minors recently by the manager because there is some bar in Oakland that did this whole wristbands called Last Dive Bar or something like that, where they used to work with the A's. Now it's more, I can't believe you guys are fucking leaving type of thing, which, by the way, that's the Tropicana out of business as of yesterday. Mm-hmm. It's a done deal. They're going in a couple of years. He was sent down basically for wearing a wristband of this bar who's just been annihilating the A's online.
Good.
Weirdest part about the story, do you know who decides to send them down? It's the manager, right? They interview the manager, and he's like, "Well, I hope to get him back up here soon." he was batting .400
it's the GM
something.
who sends him down. The manager doesn't have that kind of pull. Manager gets the lineup card.
This past weekend, I went down to the beautiful boardwalk of Point Pleasant with my wife. I met up with Eat the Rat, his girlfriend. There were kids. There were old people. It was a lot of fun. You know how you go to the boardwalk, you go to the games, you walk in there. They have the claw game you and I have talked about where you spend a fortune. Maybe you get them, maybe you don't. Well, nowadays, they are guaranteeing you win for $5 $5 a pull. Just keep going until you get something.
Hate it. Where's the honor in that?
$5 for a stuffed avocado?
Where's the honor? You better be spending $60 to not get that avocado. That's a boardwalk. That's a participation trophy. That's this newfangled soft generation that has to win something every time. God forbid the carny screws me. Fuck him. The carnies always get the better of you. That's what being a carny is about.
You're blaming Stevie for this?
Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
No, it's not fun unless there's no element of fear. You go into that thing trembling.
Talk me off this ledge. Maybe if it was my guy, I wouldn't hate this story as much, but they're doing a Paw Patrol episode where they're animating Aaron Judge and putting him in the show.
Why Aaron Judge?
Well, because they're trying to make him like Michael Jordan did cartoon shit.
Yeah, but he was the national star.
They're trying to do this with Judge.
Why? He's not that good.
This reminds me more of part of the
Jordan
pet joke.
6 rings. Judge won dick. Michael Jordan has his own line of shoes. Like, what does Judge have? He's just tall and gangly.
He's good at the baseball.
He's not great.
I didn't say great. I said he's good. They're trying to make him the face of the Yankees where Jeter was doing his thing for a while. But this reminds me a lot more of almost like grooming. Like they're trying to get kids to be Yankees fans.
They don't have to work hard. There's plenty of them.
Am I thinking too hard about this?
I'm more upset that they're making him into a thing.
I also feel that way. Again, if this was Gunnar
Henderson,
I would be rock hard. I'd be like, this is great. I love Gunnar. Oh, God, he got thrown out at second tonight. I could have killed him. All right, your girl, Caitlin Clark, who's doing lots of things. You were talking about the WNBA before, or you talking about women's college basketball. It pulled her game pulled a 12.6 million viewer, whatever.
I watched some of it, and I was surprised to find that it didn't actually make you to go to the finals. I thought that was the Final Four when I was watching it.
Well, I think it was I think it was the unofficial finals is what they were going with. So she has been getting offers now from the Ice Cube League, where the Big Three, I think it's called, to get play.
How is that still a thing?
I don't know anybody that's watched it ever. So, Zach, she's going to go to that league. They put her on the wing. She does some shooting. Do you know that a very, very good high school basketball player, a man, destroys her in basketball? Like, it's a different game. It is closer. Like, I'd rather take a male tennis player and put them in that league than put her in it. I don't get it.
It's novelty. It's supposed to sell tickets. That's all it is. What do you think that league is? The whole league is getting you to hopefully show up and watch this thing.
Maybe. I don't know. That whole story really bothered me. Let's get to some good stuff. I can't read my own handwriting here. We'll figure out why I said that. Something new on the talk is called looks maxing. And it's the thing is about like maxing out your looks. But something that's happening now is
every day.
Guys are getting chin injections to make their chin more prominent type of thing. They're not going for the tussie chin. They're going for like the little...
So it's not the me, myself, and Irene?
No. Is that a good look? You see look at his prominent chin.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's a really
weird one.
No, not that. Not the butt, I'm saying.
Well, they're getting like a butt. Leno has like a mesa. It's huge.
He does. All right, two good ones. I'm going to mess this story up, but this happened, I think, Wednesday night into Thursday, right after our podcast from last week. But Republican Senator Mayock, one of those guys, he ended up calling in a report because he said that there were, and I quote, alien invaders coming into the great state of Michigan. Turns out it was a couple of planefuls of, I think, men and women's NCAA college players. He got them confused. I can't find the article right now, but I saw this and I was like,
politics right now.
Here it is. Matt Maddock claimed on social media that he had photo evidence of illegal invaders arriving at Detroit Metro Airport. One of the two photos, and people were like, dude, that literally is like the LSU women's basketball team. What are you talking about?
God bless anyone who's in politics. They're the scariest bunch of idiots in the world.
But my favorite story, nothing makes me more happy than when somebody's famous on YouTube for something. This guy who was famous for going to dangerous places. Some guy, some TikTok YouTuber, whatever he was, his whole shtick was going to dangerous places. Do you know what happened to him?
What, killed in dangerous place?
YouTuber who visits the world's most dangerous places. He's being held ransom in Haiti for $600,000.
That's fantastic.
What are they? What's he thinking?
So when you pay that money, does he just go? Or do they say, "Whoa, we're willing to pay that"? Now we're doubling it. You're talking about Haitian kidnappers. Are they honest businessmen?
I've often wondered that. That's the whole thing. Like you keep them, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know about this."
I don't know. So those are all very good. Write-in candidate. My wife, who I love, we're in an NCAA pool, all of us, and it's about 300 people. It's quite a large pool. And the winner of the pool gets $3,000. Second place gets $1,500. Okay. I am currently having a decent pool in 22nd place. I have no chance to win, but I made a good run. Jenna's currently in 11th place.
Okay.
If UConn beats Purdue, she would win the pool potentially.
Except so just hedge. Put money on Purdue.
No, not quite. Except for the fact that she is in a barn burner with someone else who has a very similar bracket to hers and similar final points. The tiebreaker, he puts 135. Jenna puts 15. I look at this thing.
She thought it was the difference. She thought it was the difference of the game.
And I said, Jenna, Jesus Christ. So now we are guaranteed a maximum of second place at best. Now she did pistol beat pants off of me. That's a $1,500 blunder.
So again, just put money on Purdue.
I'm not putting shit on anything. She can do what she can. Seething.
Wow.
I looked at this thing. I said, what? I looked at it 10 times. And then I just go, no! I lost my stack.
we had that in our house. I don't like making my roommate feel bad, but she is in not one, but 2 NFL pick'em pools with me, which by the way, I've cashed and she's gotten second. I think she's like done consistently good with the spread, by the way. She almost won a week last year. I forget what it came down to, but you do like the over under for the game. She picked like 135. I'm like
Shootout.
that is, and my friends were like, dude, does she know what an over under is? I'm like, I don't think so. But 15 tiebreaker is pretty
15.
good.
I look at it like so many times. And then I look at his like, wait, fuck. Oh, he knows what it is. Like,
but you understand that she thought it was the team wins by 15, right?
yeah, and then she said to me, I thought it'd be close. I go, 15's a blowout.
15 also not close. So
yeah,
her
it's a blowout. Oh, she didn't get it. And then her answer was, well, I didn't think I was going to win. I go, well, why are we in this thing? Exactly. Now, she beat the crap out of all the rest of us, but still.
Boozer Daddy Podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We had fun. We're going to keep doing this. Zach, I got nothing. I have no sign off for anything. This was one of the slowest weeks ever. Tell me something you want to tell me.
I got no kinks. That's all I got. But I got no kinks, and I'm about to be out $1,500 I could have won because my wife can't count. There's your sign off. But she's the one.